So, hello everyone. People may still be coming in. Welcome to the second day of the Active Learning Network Festival, or the Festival of Active Learning. I thought yesterday was absolutely amazing. We had some great sessions. I hope you enjoyed it as well. We've had quite a lot of interaction on our asynchronous activities as well, our mosh pit activities. Today's activity, I hope you managed to get out for a walk today. And if you do, if you'd like to take a short video of something that you see, post it on the Active Learning walking activity, that would be amazing. There's also food, animal photos that you can take of your pets or wild animals that you see, and analogies you'd like to make about food that you're eating and comparing it to learning and different events. So check those mosh pit activities out. Today we're welcoming from New Zealand. Let me just Gloria Gomez, Rhea Daellenbach, Mary Kensington. I'm not sure some people aren't here. Is that right, Gloria? I should have checked how to pronounce his name, shouldn't I? Petsoglou and Rodney Tablin. Would you like to take it from here, Gloria?
Thank you, Paolo. Good morning, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon. I don't know if everyone is joining us from Europe or, yeah, we are joining from New Zealand. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. We are very happy to be here today, sharing our work with you all. Our workshop is called Transforming Teachers and Students into Co-Designers of Learning in Asynchronous Distance Education. So before we go into actually the activities, which will start with a brief presentation from me, then Mary and Rhea will continue. Then we will have a video from Con and his colleagues from, he won't be able to be with us. And after that, we will have like a little bit of conversation and then enter into the workshop. Before that, and those who would like to have a taste and feel of the technology that we use for teachers and students to co-design, which is called OB3, could you please put your emails addresses in the chat? And Rodney Tamblin, he's not showing his face right now, but he's there behind the OB3 logo. He will be setting up the accounts for everyone. So we will be a little bit busy, perhaps for 20, 25 minutes, learning about 2 case studies and about the background of this work. And then we will go into a sandpit to do a little bit of a play. Yeah, also we will share, Paolo has grabbed 2 links to video showcases, so you can also have those asynchronous resources with you. Okay, so I think I will kick off myself. So I will share my screen with everyone now, with a brief presentation to set to frame the work. So please let me know if you can see my slides.
I can't see them yet.
No? Okay, so let's do it again. Okay. So.
This looks better. Something's happening. Yes.
Better? Okay.
Yes. They're not.
Can you see the slides now?
Yes. They're not. Oh, yeah, I said it. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow I ended up. Okay. So. Well, hello, I am Gloria Gomez. Together with my colleagues today, I will be presenting on transforming teachers and students into co-designers of learning in asynchronous distance education. We are delighted to be here. And to share our work at the Action Learning Festival 2025. This workshop builds on research paper that we will share with you via the chat, but also through the resources that we have shared already. And also we will give it to Paolo as well, so he can put it in the Padlet. So we are four experts representing 2 academic institutions and 1 edtech company located in Australia or New Zealand. And for more than 10 years, we have been working together to advance online distance education. Educational technology has undergone great changes due to the emergence of customizable technologies. In higher education, this trend has been experienced through a shift that has transformed students into active participants in their own learning and enabling educators to rethink their role. In this workshop, we will report and share work in which students and teachers are co-designing media-rich resources as part of asynchronous online distance education. A growing body of literature can be identified in this area under diverse terms. Our work uses student-led content and student-derived content. In the visual, the top right corner, the people in green is the work that we are doing. That's how we see ourselves in this environment, in this related work area. Some undertake research in students as co-designers for learning from the perspective of teaching strategies or policy implications, or the collaborative relations emerging around knowledge production. While others, research is emerging from student projects or assignments in teaching programs in which students appear to be in control of decision-making and have substantial influence within a framework provided by the academic staff. The student contributions become part of content and curricula. Our similarities to the research of other people lie in that students and academic staff are co-creating small elements for inclusion in the curriculum. These elements take the form of student-led projects as part of assignments. Our differences lie in that these student-led projects have been part of the curriculum for a long time. Some elements have been shared with alumni and the broader educational community connected to the academic program. These student-led assignments have been possible due to OB3, an asynchronous virtual personal learning environment. The OB3 project set out to investigate the problem of disconnection and isolation in asynchronous online distance education. A social interaction design methodology informed our research on how academic staff relate to students through the mediation of a technology for enhancing the online academic study experience. The interaction design process identified these problems, originated from the disconnection between lectures and online discussions. The solution was to bring content and discussions together in the same place. The research informed feature design, and 2 novel changes in interaction design were applied to address the disconnection and isolation in online forums. Change 1, academic staff and students author content with familiar skills in the same interface. Change 2, discussion embedded in line with content. These novel changes in interaction design produce deep educational transformations over time. Students become co-designers of learning, and academic staff have opportunities to rethink their role. 2 case studies illustrate these transformations today. My colleagues Rhea Daellenbach and Mary Kensington will report and share their story on their undergraduate program at ARA Institute of Canterbury in New Zealand. My colleague Petsoglou and his colleagues will report on their postgraduate program at the University of Sydney via a video. So for the moment, thank you for your time with me, and we will continue with Mary and Rhea. Thank you.
Great. So we do have to show our own. Okay, so do you want to, yeah. you have to open it. Sorry, we thought that let's click on here. Sorry, we thought that our slides would be in there. Can you see those?
Not yet.
Okay.
Click the share. Should be at the bottom of the screen, the green.
Not great.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
So
Yeah.
it's this share.
Oh yes,
And
something's
we've
happening.
No,
okay.
I was sharing my
Sharing the wrong
email.
email. Jesus.
Sorry. We haven't been using Zoom for such a long time because we
No.
always use Teams. So I'm very sorry. And your screen sharing.
Freya, would you like me to share it? To share the slides?
That would be great.
But we need to
Yeah,
work
I
out
will do
share.
that. I will do that. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
no, it's okay.
We could just talk because we've got it here in front of us.
Okay, so while you're just putting that up, I'll just start, just so we don't delay things. So I'm Mary Kensington, and I'm based with Raya Daellenbach. We are lecturers in the midwifery program here in Christchurch, New Zealand. So we run a midwifery degree that is sort of the top half of the South Island of New Zealand, for those of you that know New Zealand. So we have a blended midwifery degree program, and we set that up because we needed to be able to provide access to students that lived in our rural and provincial areas. So when we first began that, we had a platform that was kind of, what's the word, static. It wasn't engaging for students, so they felt really quite isolated. So when we found OB3, which was 2013, this then provided a wonderful opportunity because of the asynchronous discussion. It meant that students were able to be engaged within the content that we were providing. So we've been using it now for about 12 and a half years. And the feedback that we've had from students is that they feel really connected to the other students, to the work they're doing. And certainly it's given us an opportunity for them to be working more kind of engaging, critically engaging within the content. And if you think of midwifery as a practice profession, it was that importance of that integration of theory practice. So yeah, I think that kind of works well. So
You want to go to the next slide, Gloria?
Yeah.
Okay, so we use the midwifery program is 50% theory and 50% practice, and most of that theory, which is around 2,400 hours of work, is done online so that students can access it from wherever they are. And OB3 is the main platform that we use for that. And some of the content that we have is very much curated by us. Other and written by us, and students just maybe comment or they share practice stories, that that kind of things. But other content, we realize it's in their textbooks. There's fantastic resources online, and so what we do is more we put up the prompts and the questions, and the students contribute the knowledge, and so they are very much more active learning, and they are engaged with each other. And so now if we could share that one of the screens.
So just the next slide, just to introduce what we want to try and do, and then hopefully we can get these up, is that we wanted to show you some examples of how we use OB3 for assessment. And we've got sort of 3 examples, but I think probably the first 2 will sort of cover enough to kind of give you a real sense of how it works. So the first one, and I'm wondering also, Raya, whether if it's brought over here and shared, then it kind of comes.
Okay, great.
So the first one is, so if we try and see if we can share that.
Yes, we are sorry that we've forgotten how to use this
sharing my
technology.
screen right now.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, if you stop sharing, yeah, and then if we share.
That okay, so let's see if we go here and share this. Okay, so here, can you see?
Can you see that? That says 1875, Mrs. Goodyear? Okay, so in the first year students in one of their courses, they're learning about the history of midwifery. And essentially, so what they're doing, they're in groups. They are given a scenario, and this one's about a woman, Mrs. Goodyear, who's a handy
Here's
woman.
the scenario at the top.
So
Yeah.
you can see in the beginning, I mean, there's this little video that the students have actually devised this themselves. So they've created a scenario, they've created a sort of mock role play about Mrs. Goodyear going out to visit the woman who's in labour. So this is an opportunity, that kind of, creating their own work. And then you can see here too, basically they provide, I mean, it's a bit mixed on the page, but they provide a lot of content, and then they ask questions of their colleagues, and then the students are also engaged. So yeah, you can see here a question being asked around death rates at the time in New Zealand. And then basically the other students will add information. I guess the beauty of this too is it's about that kind of co-creating their own knowledge and information. So this works really well as an assessment, as a group presentation of 4 or 5 students working together.
And they share it with the rest of the class, so everybody is learning. And in the assessment, we they're assessed from what they put up here, but also how they engage with each other. And yeah, so I mean, they engage with each other anyway when we put up more lecture curated content, but
we've certainly found in these projects where you add in another layer of assessment, because that always kind of grabs students a little bit more, that they have to be, showing, is that they then engage, and we found them really, the whole sort of taking on board the history and understanding the situation became a lot more alive when they were creating the information, and then as students, as their colleagues also adding in as part of that, kind of showing their ability to engage.
Yeah. And this here is a second year project where, again, the students are creating the resources. You can see all the discussion, each of these are different students in the class. They're all engaged. They're all discussing here. You can see how much discussion is generated. And so, and in a way, then we as lecturers can be really a lot more confident that the students are learning. I'm very conscious that we've now come to the end of our 6 minutes. So shall we stop here?
Or
yeah?
Yeah, because I think the third one we were going to show is really just to show that at final year, you can also do it relating to practice experience. So when a student is in practice, they can be doing their practice experience, but then online, they can be selecting a practice topic where they're actually presenting the information, showing the ability to analyze the research around it, but then their peers have to also engage and ask them questions and add to that information. So it's a really rich way of both engaging your students, but also having the opportunity to assess them. Back to you, Gloria.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary and Rhea. It's always wonderful to see what your students and you are doing. My suggestion is that the questions that we have today, we write them in the chat, and Rodney is going to move them into a page within OB3, and those questions could be answered asynchronously, unless someone has a dying question, and perhaps we could do one question live. So what about that, Paolo?
Sounds great. Yeah, I know you've got a busy schedule. Do you want me to take one question from the chat?
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have at least one question, and then we move to the next presentation, the next case.
So Mariam says, I assume that you need to keep up with the student exchange to ensure technical accuracy.
That's a really great question. So absolutely, that's such a great question, because we are in there as well. Like, you couldn't tell there, but as lecturers, we are looking and moderating that discussion, or not moderating so much, but we will say to students, "Well, maybe that's not accurate," or "Have you thought about, these sorts of aspects?" And Paula, it's another excellent question. So when our students start, many of them are really unconfident about sharing. And so in the beginning, it's much more likely that we'll do lecturer curated content with questions that they can answer, very simple information that they would share, yeah. And we also, because it is a blended program, they have small tutorial groups with a dedicated lecturer that works with them. And so that's the kind of thing that gets supported for each student, so that they do learn to share their information. And that's so important for midwifery. I mean, it might not be so important for some other professions, but for midwifery,
we have had to, you do sometimes get a really enthusiastic student who kind of jumps on and, answers all the questions, and so some students have felt a little bit intimidated. So then we create situations where we say to them, they're just to give 1 point so that everybody gets an opportunity to add a point on. But the beauty is also we can advise them to turn off the responses, add their response, and then turn them on again, so that they're not impacted by what other people are saying. So there's different ways that you can work it to try and ensure that they have some confidence.
Thank you, Mary and Rhea. Perhaps it would be good to add to the chat the link to your paper, the book chapter on network learning, where you are showcasing the whole blended learning program. I think that would be very interesting for everyone. So now I am going to move to the next case study, the case, and it's an ophthalmology case. And this one, I'm going to share a video that Con and his colleagues have developed. So just give me a minute to doing that.
midwifery research.
Computer. Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Con Petsoglou. I'm one of the coordinators and one of the instigators of the ophthalmic science basic course for University of Sydney that we run collaboratively with the University of Otago in New Zealand. In terms of our presentation and discussion today, I have a panel of students and tutors that we have within our sort of unit of study. And essentially we want to sort of present the way sort of co-creation of documents happens within the learning management software that we have, which is OceanBrowser 3. I've got a screenshot and a screen of the browser open on this page, and I just was going to just share with you the thoughts that our tutors and students have. So I might firstly just hand over to Anna, and if you can introduce yourself and then just tell us about sort of the advantages and the educational benefits of what you've found with OB3 over the years.
Thank you. My name's Anna. I'm an ophthalmology fellow, and I've been the optics tutor for some years now. I really like the OB3 platform because it's very well organized, and I can interact with the students very regularly through their journal club posts and other discussions. Furthermore, I really like that OB3 becomes a lifelong resource, and you can see in this screen how you can access previous content.
Yeah, so I know you get all the sort of previous discussions that we've had within optics, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of having those different sort of previous semesters live all the time, that sort of helps you in your sort of guiding teaching and guiding thoughts of the students each semester?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really nice to see how semesters have contributed over the years, and I can compare journal clubs from one semester to another semester to sort of standardize it over time as well.
Now, I must say, in terms of sort of journal club, I mean, as you said, I mean, the actual organization is very good. And then, the advantages of having the journal club is to trying to bring all the students together. How do you find, Anna, during the course, in terms of week 1 to sort of week 12, how do the interactions change over that time?
I think you can tell towards the end of the semester, students get more comfortable with each other and more comfortable in the space of journal club. So the posts perhaps are more frequent. Throughout the semester, I always start with week one a bit more, or start a separate post so people can introduce themselves and say where they work, so we can all have a little bit of context behind where each student is coming from. Sometimes around mid-semester breaks and when there's other assignments due, I can understand the quantity of posting might be down a little bit. Generally, it's always very consistent and good.
Yeah, I must say, we can see your posts here and you sort of coordinate everyone's sort of discussion during the semester. I might hand over to Natalie. Natalie, can you introduce yourself and just tell us about sort of working with your colleagues, developing content?
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie. I'm an SRMO and a recent graduate of this master's course. And what I really loved about OB3 is it was perfect for an environment of online learning. And what it did was it built this collaborative, and it was like an online classroom community where every week in Journal Club, you'd see the names of your colleagues posting, and you got to know each other just through seeing their presence online. And you got, it was very inspiring that you would learn from each other. You would build off each other's questions and their own research. So it was really good for building connections and relationships all within the online learning environment.
And here we've got sort of one of Katarina's posts, and Katarina will talk in a second. And I must say, we do like the fact that each of the posts get color coded, and it's quite obvious who's actually contributed to the documents. And I do like that very much during the semester, because as sort of educators, when we're marking everything, Anna, so I mean, when we mark the posts at the end, how do you find sort of marking the contributions at the end of the semester?
Oh, in terms of the color coordination?
Color coordination, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a slightly smaller cohort, I can almost remember just the color.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Not the name of it.
No.
Don't too much.
And also, over the semesters, we've had a few students that have been at risk, people that are sort of quiet and dropping off. And I must say that's been very useful from my end, because, just keeping tabs on people and sort of seeing if they're not actually engaging online, that there's obviously something going on. And I sort of, about mid-semester, sort of just have a running tally on how things are going. And if we're seeing someone that's really dropping off, I do actually bring it to our attention and try to prompt them a bit more. Have you had to do that as well, Anna?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another massive benefit of this platform. It does encourage that consistent engagement. And when someone's dropping off, it's very easy for me to tell. So around this time in the semester, I strive to provide some mid-semester feedback as well and give people an opportunity to post more, get them a bit more excited about.
More excited, correct. A bit more engaged. Engagement's very important in the online community. I might just hand to Katarina, if you can introduce yourself and any other thoughts you have as a student within the course.
So hi, I'm Katarina. I'm a resident at St. George Sutherland Network. I find OB3 really beneficial in that when we're studying on masters, doing it online, working full time as well, it can feel quite alienating, and you don't really have people to bounce those ideas off like you did in uni of like, oh, I don't know why this happens, or the questions that we post on the Journal Club aren't just to keep the conversation going. It's because sometimes I just don't know, and I would like someone else to tell me.
Yes.
So it's very helpful in inspiring that collaboration between people that don't know each other and aren't in each other's orbit. So yeah, it's very beneficial.
Fantastic. And lastly, to Dean. Dean, any thoughts you have in terms of your early career within the course?
Hello, my name's Dean. I'm one of the resident doctors at Concord Hospital. Being quite early in the hospital, I found in the course, I found OB3 to be quite useful. It's really easy to use. It's well organized. Within seconds, I can find a topic that I want to look into. So with regards to the Journal Club, I really like how the actual format of the software is like A4 pieces of paper. It reminds me of just using like a textbook and just like flipping through things. It's also easy to compare your posts with other students. So if you want to sort of think critically, build upon other people's responses and post accordingly. I believe it really supports higher order thinking, critical thinking by analyzing research and applying it to weekly optics topics. As we progress through the course week by week, it allows us to stay up to date with the topic, to use the lectures and our own personal reading in conjunction with this interactive and collaborative way of posting and thinking with each other. I also like how it allows image attachments. So it allows for us to post images, and that really does convey a lot more than just words.
Yeah, I must say you're right, Dean, because the topic that we're doing is optics, and it's a very visual topic. I mean, I've just got one of the sort of collaborative group projects that the students did last semester. So we had these ones, and as educators, it's just very simple to develop these pages. And for instance, this is on the direct ophthalmoscope. So we had about 3 or 4 students sort of adding and sort of really trying to get a reference document together. And I mean, long term for us, the actual post it's searchable, so people can actually search for the information using the search bar, and also really get into the nitty gritty of the optics and the knowledge of that one. This semester, I know Katerina and Dean, have you guys signed up for your journal, your group project already?
Yes.
Yeah. So which ones are you guys doing?
The shovel shots.
Shower shots, yeah. So we've got that. So this is usually the empty page, and then so you guys will start populating that. And for us as educators, we'll be able to see each of your contributions and how insightful they are. And it needs to be original work, but you're sort of also copying all the sort of best materials from internet and reference resources. And often the reference list at the end is actually one of the best things that we have. So be able to allow people to follow these links and have that as a long-term tool. And I must say the other thing that for me as sort of educator, all of the sort of online discussions, we get emails each time you sort of post something. So there's sort of like Dean yourself, is when you sort of put something on last Thursday, and it sort of tells us what you actually wrote on the thing, and then I could read that and sort of prompt you or guide you in terms of what are the sort of important topics we'd like you to sort of be able to do. Again, as educators, I'm sure, Anna, you're the same. We get these emails all the time, and we're able to quickly filter which direction discussion is going, and also in terms of the co-design documents, making sure that they're heading in the right direction. Anna, any final thoughts from you in terms of sort of developing sort of reference documents or co-design materials for our students that then eventually become sort of resources?
Oh, it's excellent. And it reminds me the iWiki. Students can still that on OB3 as well. This project looks similar.
Yeah, it looks similar to that. Yeah, that's right. Let's see if we can get into those resources. So the Optiki was one that we developed quite a few years ago, and that was all sort of again, pages that students contributed to and were editing during the semester. And these became major projects for each of those students. And in this situation, we had a student given a page to actually populate, and then others were later on sort of editing and being able to form as a sort of a good reference document. And when we actually set that up, people who edited best, they actually were given more marks, because like being able to edit something gives you a sort of higher sort of level of understanding, as well as sort of developing each one. So, these are excellent resources. I mean, Natalie, were you using the Optiki much during your sort of time doing optics in the master's degree?
Yeah, definitely. So I find as an online resource, the fact that it is searchable, that you do have the links to all of the references, it's very, very useful and so easy to use.
Yeah. Well, I think that's sort of what we'd like to sort of finish with. And, I really appreciate everyone coming here and presenting their thoughts. And I do hope that the conference does inspire other groups to sort of use similar learning management systems to be able to encourage, really top-notch students who are very comfortable in this environment, be able to develop, documents that are reference materials through co-design. So thank you, everyone. And I might just end it there. Thank you all.
Thanks.
I need to stop sharing, right? There you go. Thank you very much, everyone. I think Mary and Rhea, Conan, and his colleagues have given a good idea of what OB3 can support for them as the platform for them to co-construct knowledge together. So we are mindful that we are now 22 minutes from finishing our workshop. So perhaps we should perhaps go into the active learning part here in the sandpit. So Rodney, could you please guide us into the sandpit, please?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, good. Okay, everyone. I'm hoping that everyone has received their OB3 accounts. You just give me a thumbs up in the conference reactions if you have, and if you've been able to activate your account. Great. I'm seeing some thumbs up. If you haven't got an account yet, could you please add your email address into the chat, and I will create your accounts in a few moments. For those of you that have, I'm going to start a screen share now and guide you through the process. So I can see I've got to just quickly create one person here while you give me one moment. Add a user to the group. And I've just created your account, so check your email and you should get an invite. So I'm just going to start a screen share now and take you through the process of the activity. Share. Are you seeing this window getting started at the moment, or are you seeing something else? I'll just restart the share. Make sure that I'm actually sharing the right window.
So we can see add users to group.
Okay, that's the wrong one. Can you now see co-designing learning, getting started, journal club?
Yes.
Getting started, student collections. Right. Okay. So in this, this is the course that we have shared with you. And so just a couple of quick things here. The Q&A document is where I've been adding all the questions that have come up in the chat. And afterwards, we will use discussions to fill those out with responses and so forth. And we'll share any related resources that will be useful for you. And I see Gloria's also created a resources for paper and video area here. So what I want you to do is to navigate into the sandpit. And the way that we've set this up is we've shared it with you using view and add. So OB3 has a whole variety of different sharing privileges. So view and discuss lets you look at a document and add discussions. View and add is a co-creation sharing mode, which lets you add content into the document, but you can't edit other people's work. So each person can add to the document and respond to it, but your contributions are your own. So when you navigate into this document, into this folder, you'll see a bunch of cities in here. And these are the cities where attendees have signed up for the ALN network. There's a README at the document top here, which has some instructions for you on how to use OB3 and a little 1-minute video here if you feel you need it. But I'm actually going to show you now how to do this. So if we open up, say, the Sydney document, you'll notice down here the blue bars on the side, and then contributions from other users will appear on the side here in different colors. So for example, I could go and have a look for photo opportunity. I opened up Sydney photo opportunity, and I could go into one of these things here and say copy an image and go back to OB3, and I could paste that in and maybe include a citation. So I'll just roll my mouse over the document until the plus button appears and then click and type source. And I could go over to the style menu on the side here and make it a caption. So as you add content into the document, you'll find that you're not able to edit the content that's already supplied. So the teacher has created a template for the activity that they want to do, along with the instructions and requirements. When you share that with your students, and when you look at the documents in your own OB3, you'll find that you're not able to edit it, but you are able to add content below those headings. And that's how the teacher can, say, create a structure for a student-led collection of documents with the structure that they want to do, and then the students can go in and add the content into it. And as I pointed out earlier on, the color bars on the side here will allow you to check out who contribute different content. If there are multiple people working on the same document, you can click the refresh button down the bottom to pull on the latest synchronous content that's appeared in the last few seconds. So I'd like to encourage you all now to log in and give it a go. And in the chat, if you just let me know if you're having a problem, or if you are popping content into any of the other documents, and we can check those out. So perhaps, Gloria, would you like to jump into the Dunedin, New Zealand document, and we will both add some content in here just while people are getting started.
Yeah.
So everyone,
yeah, we'll do
please
that.
give it a go.
This activity was inspired by the map, the Active Learning Network map. And so we took some of the names out of there. Yeah, so some of the cities. So yeah, so please go ahead and give it a go. The Read Me First document also provides some guidance as to how to do it. And there is a 1.5 one almost 2-minute video for how to get going as well.
So some of you have discovered that because we've shared the sandpit view and add, that you can also go in and create your own documents and folders from scratch. So in some activities, you'll just create an empty folder, view and add, and the students will have instructions and they will go ahead and create that. In this example here, we've supplied you with some documents good to go, but you're also free to create your own documents if you want to. And Paolo says that he's adding Brighton. So if I go down here and click the synchronization button, I should suddenly see Brighton somewhere on the list. Do a refresh and see if it's turned up. Brighton. Cool. You can also copy and paste content between documents. So if I wanted to shift these headings, for example, into Paolo's new document, I could select the headings here, click copy, and go back to Brighton, and then click paste. And then you see when we do the synchronization, those headings will appear in the document. If you need to pick things up and move them around, you can pick them up and drag them around in the document as well too. So, or use cut and paste and move.
We are now like 12 minutes to the hour, so perhaps we could start wrapping up perhaps and just have a little bit of a chat. What do you think?
Katrin, first I'll just answer your question about, we really like how easy it is to navigate and add content. Is it possible to save the document or is it a PDF? Just noting that when you've got the document open, you can print it with Command P and then typically save it out to a PDF from there. And next month we will be releasing a viewer product for OB3 that will let you embed content at publishers' websites and do other things with it. So Gloria, yes, go ahead.
Everyone, any comments or any questions, perhaps live? Mary, Rhea, would you like to comment a little bit more or?
I think it's really nice. I'd like to see it, I quite like to see it embedded within, is it Moodle that you've got it embedded in at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, we use Moodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a link. Yeah. It just,
Gloria, you
students
might
just
be able to show the
follow a link.
configuration.
Yeah.
Oh, just a link in. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canvas embeds OB3 really well. And then you can use the Canvas navigation buttons to go back and next. So yeah, so it's in Canvas is embedded, but with our Moodle is a link. So you get off.
And do you find that you're sharing a lot of the stuff still through Moodle or Canvas or your LMS, or do you find that you're using this like almost completely? Does this cover most of your needs?
Yeah, it covers most of our needs. And for sort of the security of R itself, which is where we teach, and the students always have to go to OB3 through Moodle. They haven't they don't allow them to go directly to OB3. So yeah, so that's but yeah, we find that we've put, I mean, sometimes within that there may be articles that we ask the students to read, but then they're still embedded within OB3 so that we can get them to answer questions about the article, in line. Yeah.
I think that most of the activities that the RA Midwifery and Sydney Ophthalmology program do, it's really collaborating. There's a lot of co-creation and collaboration. I remember when they started, it was more input from the academic staff and less from the students. But as they became more familiar with OB3 and the sharing privileges, a lot more activity was given to the students as part of assessment. So the assessment activities actually, they also have marking rubrics I know that at Sydney, they have marking rubrics for the assessment, and I imagine that at our midwifery is as well, when you are assessing the students on how they perform, right?
Yeah. The other thing we haven't really mentioned, but we also, the students have portfolios that they goes across their whole program, which is where they're collecting their reflections, their information around their practice experience, and other information. So we use OB3 also for their portfolio, and that's worked really well as also. And they'll be able to access it. The beauty of OB3 is that when the students leave, they can get a link through Rodney and Gloria, so that they can actually have access to that once they finish their being in the program.
The idea is that all materials should go with them for lifelong learning. So the alumni accounts are lifelong; they are never shut down. And yes, so this technology really was developed to enable people at a distance, asynchronously, to really engage and not to feel isolated in their studies. And it feels that through these assignments that required so much activity, so much co-production, the relationship between academic staff and students really becomes closer together. I feel like, and I hear you talking about the communities of practice, the communities of learning that are created through all of that activity. Yes.
I'm asking most of the questions, but did this sort of fit your original teaching practice, or did you have to change? I mean, if we were to say, if we were interested in our institution, I think there'd be a learning curve for people about how they teach and and the interactions they're expecting from their students. Actually, from both parts, from the students and the teachers.
Yes, yes, definitely. And it is like Mary and I have, when we were teaching face to face before we had a blended program that we had to push out to rural areas as well. We really like to use a lot of workshop stuff. We used to put a lot of time and energy to get students to kind of face-to-face workshop ideas. And then when we had to go online, so that we found that really challenging just because it was so static. So for us, it was really great to come to OB3, but many of our new staff, they have to learn that too, because they kind of come with the idea that a lecturer stands in front of the class and just pumps out the information.
But it has been interesting. We've had one lecturer who was a student in another midwifery program and they use Moodle books. And so she's come into our program as a lecturer, but she found OB3 really inspiring, the fact that actually the conversation and the discussion was embedded within the content, whereas when she was doing the Moodle books, it was separate. So that was a real, I mean, I guess it just reaffirmed for us that what we were using was working well.
Yeah, the way that OB3 came about is because the students in one early program were actually not engaging with the discussion forums and not engaging with the lectures, because the lectures were considered old as well. So when we talked with the program that we started this project with, they told us all these stories, and we were going through their materials, trying to understand how the academics were preparing materials and how students were studying materials. And what we found is that there was a disconnection. Academics didn't have a lot of time to develop and update their PDFs, and the students thought that they were antiquated. I'm talking about a project 15 years ago, when we started thinking about OB3. And so all the analysis and the social interactions around studies showed that perhaps what we needed to develop is a platform where there was a lot more interaction between academic staff and students in the creation of materials. and that it was more the instant. We thought that if a very busy academic needed to prepare materials, they should be able to do it in less than an hour and very, very easily to transfer things from a Word document or a PowerPoint into the system. So that's how the whole idea started. We never catered for the students to co-design, but because we created one place for everyone and everything, that's how the academic staff started thinking that perhaps they could co-create. And that's how co-creation of knowledge came to be. So
that was just quite good in terms of that isolation, was that though this discussion is asynchronous, what students liked was that they could come on and there could be somebody else on. And so you could inadvertently, you could end up having a conversation, or just the fact that you saw somebody else posting made you feel like you weren't so isolated. And so that really changed the landscape for us in terms of our satellite students in the rural areas.
Great, guys. I think we better wrap up. We've got 2 minutes to go. Thank you so much for coming and presenting. I think OB3, I mean, obviously it's like a product, it's almost, but that many of us don't have. I'm wondering, but it looks actually something that I think would be really useful in my institution, and sort of practices I like to encourage. Things like Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, they don't look, they're not so much. This is more logical. You can add some paragraphs, you can add some instructions very easily, and then, as you say, you can get it easy for students to interact and answer questions, and that's kind of like just makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much. I will certainly be taking another look at that.
Thank you very much, Paolo, for having us.
No,
This was
thank
great
you.
for all of us.
Thanks a lot.
And to see Mary and Brea and Brittany.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. So the next session's at 1 p.m. I hope to see you there. 1 p.m. UK time, of course. I have no idea what that will be. Late. I don't expect you to be there, guys from New Zealand. But thank you so much for coming to join us. And see you all a bit later, I hope.
Thank you very much. And have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice evening.
Bye, Mary, Brea. Ciao.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.